Family arguments, right.
Hmm?
We've all had them. But imagine one going so wrong, escalating to the point of actual violence, your own mother being attacked.
Yeah.
That's the reality for Angelina Tran. She's a promising student, 21 years old, at the University of Washington. And that's exactly the situation she found herself
It's
in.
magic.
It really is. This deep dive, we're going to explore Angelina Tran's case, trying to understand what happened that morning. And we've got security footage, court documents.
There's a lot of material to go through.
Yeah, we do. And we're going to use some expert analysis, too, to kind of put it all together.
It's a sad reminder that this stuff, domestic violence, it can turn deadly.
Yeah.
Like that, in an instant.
Yeah.
And it's not always just, the people directly involved.
Right.
Anyone who tries to step in to help, well, they can get caught in the crossfire.
Exactly. And, looking at all this material on Angelina, she just sounds like a remarkable young woman.
Mm-hmm.
Bright, driven, passionate about tech, about making a difference. She wanted to use technology to help, especially marginalized communities.
Really wanted to make a difference.
Yeah, especially focused on helping the elderly. She was close to her mom, Lynn Tran, and she'd grown up with her stepfather, Nia Chow. They called him Neep. They were a family.
Which is what makes it, makes it even more tragic. You just don't expect this. Chow and Lynn had been together 19 years.
Wow.
They just got married, like, the year before this all happened. Nothing in what we've got, none of the sources suggest this kind of violence was, like, a regular thing.
No. So August 7th, 2023, that's when everything changed. Our sources, they detail this argument between Lynn and Chow. It was about money. And things escalated quickly. Chow starts punching Lynn repeatedly, hitting her face, her head.
Awful.
And it's all, the whole thing, it was caught on the home security cameras.
Yeah.
Inside the house.
It's, the footage, it's key evidence, obviously, but the cameras themselves, it makes you think about Chow. Was this like a controlling thing? All the security? Something to consider.
For sure. So this is happening, and Angelina hears the commotion. She goes to help, to defend her mother. The security footage, we can see a struggle. Somehow, Lynn manages to get away, calls 911, but that just shifts Chow's rage onto Angelina.
And that's where it gets really bad. The footage, it shows Chow stabbing Angelina over and over. It's chilling. He even stops at one point to change his clothes because he's cold from all the blood.
I don't even know what to say. The medical examiner, later, they said she was stabbed over 107 times. 107 times she fought back. But it was relentless. Police arrive. They find Chow. He's holding a bloody knife. And he just says right there, I killed someone.
Chilling. And, okay, so he confesses, right. But there's so much we don't know. Later on, he says he'd been to urgent care that day. High blood pressure, trouble sleeping. He tries to say it was the money he's left out in the living room. Made him angry.
Okay.
Even says he was worried Lynn was going to divorce him and take his money, even though she'd never said anything about divorce.
Yeah, the paranoia. This rage, it just doesn't, the expert analysis, they say this kind of violence, it's almost never just a one-time thing. Makes you wonder if there was like a history of abuse that no one knew about. The security system, the paranoia. Could it be controlling behavior that people missed?
Raises some serious red flags for sure. Makes you think, right, what are the signs of abuse, the things we miss? What could have been done, to prevent this?
Huh?
Tough questions, but we got to ask them. It does make you think. But like, even with, a tragedy like this, there's still hope. A GoFundMe page was set up for Angelina in her honor, and it's done incredibly well. The money, it's going to the National Asian Pacific Center on Aging.
Yeah.
An organization, well, it really shows you what she was about, helping the elderly.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful way to honor her. And the page describes her as, well, a gem of a human being. They said her smile, it brought joy to everyone. And even now, her family, her loved ones, they believe she would want them to find strength, find joy, even with this horrible loss.
Amazing. It really says a lot about her, about the kind of person she was. And the ripple effect, it goes beyond just her family.
Right.
The whole community trying to deal with this, trying to move forward.
That's a good point. We've been talking about, the attack, the legal stuff, the questions we still have. But what about, like, our listeners? What can they take away from all this?
I think this is what we got to, shift gears a bit.
Yeah.
Go from understanding what happened to, like, what do we do about it? Angelina's story, it's tragic, but it can be a way to make things better. We have to really learn about domestic violence, the signs, and how to, be more proactive, do something about it.
Yeah, and to help us with that, we have some expertise here. Dira Bowen, she's the director of Seattle University's Family Law Center. She's quoted a lot in the research we did.
Yeah, Bowen, she brings up a pretty scary statistic. 20%. That's 20% of homicides in domestic disputes. They involve a third party, a victim, I mean.
Wow.
And a lot of times it's someone like Angelina stepping in, trying to help, to protect someone.
So dangerous.
Yeah, the danger, it's not just contained to the, the couple.
When you put it that way, it makes what Angelina did even more courageous.
Yeah.
She jumped in, didn't think twice, tried to save her mom.
Incredible.
It just shows you this issue, how many lives it touches. We tend to think of domestic violence as like a private thing.
Behind closed doors.
Yeah, but this case, it shows you it can have public consequences, devastating ones.
No doubt. And it really shows we need to do more. A whole bunch of things. Education, awareness, support for victims. We need better laws, too.
Yeah.
We got to break the silence, the stigma around it.
Because at the end of the day, it's about saving lives.
Yeah.
Recognizing the warning signs, helping early, supporting people, creating a culture where this isn't okay. Where victims can speak up. It's not like, oh, this is a private matter. We got to do something.
Exactly. We all have to be part of this. Angelina's story, yeah, it's heartbreaking. But it can be like a reminder. We all have to play a part in stopping this.
It's a lot to take in. But even after going through all this, the footage, Chow's confession, we still don't really know why.
It's true. The why behind all this brutality, we don't really have an answer. We talked about, was there violence before? The security cameras, maybe that was about control. But what was it? What was the thing that made it snap?
Right. What pushed him over the edge? I mean, it's important to think about, domestic violence. It's complicated. Rarely, like a simple, clear-cut thing. There's so much underneath. Patterns, missed chances to do something, and it all builds to these awful outcomes.
And, it's easy to get lost in the details, the legal stuff. But we can't forget there are real people here whose lives are changed forever. Angelina's mother, Lynn, she saw what happened to her daughter. And she was a victim, too, of Chow's violence.
Right.
Now she's dealing with the grief, the trauma, and the courts, too.
It's a lot. A reminder that violence, it has this ripple effect. It's not just the people directly involved, families, friends, whole communities.
Exactly. But even in all of this, you see courage. Angelina defending her mother, she probably saved Lynn's life.
Yeah.
It's powerful. It shows you how bad domestic violence can be and the incredible things people do to help.
It makes you think, even in the worst situation, there's still love and sacrifice. We can't bring Angelina back, but we can try to stop this from happening again. To honor her.
I agree. Her story is painful, but it has to mean something. We have to learn about this, recognize the signs, and do something. We can support those organizations, like the one for the elderly that Angelina cared about.
Absolutely. Educate ourselves, tell others, speak up when we see something wrong, even small things. Just talking, listening, being there for someone. Those things matter.
They do. As we finish up this deep dive, I want to leave everyone with a question. What if we as a society, we treated domestic violence like a real emergency, like other health crises? What if we really paid attention?
That's a really good question, because stopping this, it's not just about protecting individuals, it's about building a better world for everyone. Safer, more just, more caring. Angelina's story is tragic, but it's a call to action. Let's make that happen.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you for helping us talk about this. It's hard, but it's important. And to everyone listening, thank you for being here. I hope Angelina's story, it pushes us all to do more, to learn, to care, and to really take action so this doesn't keep happening.
That wraps up this deep dive. We hope this was informative and that it made you think, remember, knowledge is power. And the more we understand, the better we can be at stopping this, making sure tragedies like Angelina's, well, making sure they become a thing of the past.